I'm Phil Heimlich, and welcome to this week's Sanity Check. I am sick of team players, and I'm not talking about football team or basketball team or an orchestra or a military unit. I'm talking about political teams. Now let's take my party, the Republicans. We all know that Donald Trump incited a violent attack on the Capitol back in 2021, and we know that he pressured state lawmakers to change votes, and then he went and pardoned the 1,500 thugs that had attacked the Capitol. And this doesn't even include him accepting a $200 million bribe. I'm sorry, I mean airplane from Qatar. And he's changing the cryptocurrency rules to benefit his company. And he's treating our Justice Department like it's his private law firm. See, we Republicans, we don't care how corrupt or anti democratic our team is, we stick with them. But they're not the only ones that are team players. Let's take a look at the Democrats. Back in 2021, there was a courageous Republican congressman from Michigan named Peter Meyer who had the guts to vote in 2021 to endorse Donald Trump. Well, what did the Democrats do? In the next Republican primary, they poured money in to try to defeat Meyer by supporting an extremist far right candidate because they figured he'd be a weaker candidate in the general election. So they stuck with their team rather than honoring a man of courage and principle. And then there's the pro Israeli team. What that means is we're going to support Israel no matter what they do. If they kill 60,000 Palestinians or starve millions to death, hey, that's okay. We stick with the team. Here's what I have to say to all you team players. Quit supporting your team and stand up for what's right. Hey, do you want a Muslim running your city? Well, apparently the citizens of New York City do because they just elected a Muslim named Zohran Mamdani to be the Democratic candidate for mayor, and he's going to win. Now, a bunch of my Bible thumper friends are really upset about this because they say we can't have a Muslim, somebody who worships Allah, running a major city. And this brings to mind what I talked about a couple weeks ago. I was talking about vertical integration, which is our relationship with God, versus horizontal integration, which is how we treat our fellow man. Now, you might remember there was a 19-year-old kid here in Cincinnati, hadn't committed any crimes, just graduated from high school. He had been brought here from Honduras when he was 8, so he had nothing to do with it. And yet they picked him up and shipped him off to Honduras. See, that's what I call treating your fellow man like crap. But back to this election. As far as I know, Mandami treats people pretty well, so he's got that horizontal integration now, but he doesn't worship our God. But the guy he beat in the election, Andrew Cuomo, used to be the governor of New York, but he lost his job because he was caught pressuring women in his office to have sex, using his power to force these women to have sexual relations with him. Now, if you ask me, if I had to choose between a sleazy philanderer and a Muslim, I'll take the Muslim. Stephen Colbert is dead. Well, not physically dead, but from a media standpoint, he's dead. He has the most popular late night talk show on CBS, but CBS canceled him. Why did they do that? Here's what you need to understand. CBS is owned by a big media company called Paramount, and Paramount is trying to merge with another big media company. But to do it, they have to get the federal government, that is the Trump administration, to approve the merger. Now, at the same time, Trump filed a totally frivolous lawsuit against CBS. Every legal expert says it'll get thrown out of court. But nonetheless, Paramount went ahead and settled the suit by paying off Trump with $16 million. Well, back to Colbert. Colbert often ridicules Trump, and Trump has made it clear he despises the guy. Last week, Colbert got on the air, made his usual jokes about Trump, but he referred to this settlement as a big fat bribe. 3 days later, he was canceled. So everybody's happy. Trump got Colbert off the air. Paramount got their merger. It's just the people that get screwed. I'm in love, but not with a woman. I'm in love with college football. Every year as September draws near, I yearn for it. My favorite games are where one of those small schools like Appalachian State defeats a major power like Michigan or Ohio State. And I love to watch the schools like Stanford and Northwestern that have real students playing, yet can still play tough against the big boys. But like many romances, we broke up over money. The money specifically that colleges are now allowed to pay their athletes. They can pay players up to a total of $20 million a year. You see, the small schools like Appalachian State, they can't afford that kind of money. So all their good players are transferring to the other schools. And as far as those universities that maintain their academic standards, they're seeing all their players transfer to a school where, as long as they can block and tackle, they don't even have to show up for class. Well, as far as me and college football, in the words of B.B. King, the thrill is gone. I don't care about your issues. You pro-life? I don't care. You're pro-choice. I don't care. You want to reform the police or you want tougher law enforcement? It doesn't matter to me. Do you want to cut taxes, increase the spending? I couldn't care less. There's only one issue that we should care about, and that is protecting our democracy. If we don't fight to preserve our freedoms, we will not be a free country. I'm not talking about tanks rolling in or being conquered by some foreign country. I'm talking about the gradual whittling away of our rights. TV networks today are changing their content to please President Trump because they are afraid he's going to yank their broadcast license away. Trump is also blacklisting law firms that ever filed any kind of lawsuit against him. He's taking away their security clearance. So if they do government work, they're out of business. And we now have masked ICE agents grabbing people off the street and shipping them to another country. Trump now wants to begin denaturalizing American citizens. That means that if you oppose him, he wants to take away your American citizenship and deport you. Wake up and smell the coffee, folks. Unless we put aside our pet causes and band together to preserve democracy, no one is safe. This has been your Sanity Check with Phil Heimlich. If you enjoy this podcast, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend.